I'm Kathy Cunningham.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Goody.
Watch us next on TSN.
Canadian junior success, world junior success, and immediate success. Here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts, first time out for PEI, Suzanne Goody. She has been on the mark the entire week. The team out of the Charlottetown Curling Club lost their very first game, but then rattled off 10 straight wins. This business student out of UPEI has been giving everyone else the business here in Kitchener-Waterloo. And now they are one win away from putting themselves into the final of this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. Newfoundland's Kathy Cunningham struggled early. They started off 2 wins, 4 losses. But those ladies from the Rock can really throw a rock. They won 4 of their last 5, and now they're into the semi. And waiting to see who she'll play in the final, the defending champions, Team Canada and Colleen Jones. Not a lot of attention this week, but she's been there, consistent as ever. Colleen Jones. On any given Saturday, the skating rink in front of Kitchener City Hall would be filled with skaters, but not on this early evening, not with the forecast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TSN's final broadcast of this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. I don't know if you've heard, but there is a wicked winter storm on its way. It's pushing up from Texas. It'll go through here and push right up the St. Lawrence River Valley. And yes, Maritimes, you're going to get some more snow. So it's a perfect opportunity for the ice crew here at City Hall to get their work done. There's no people. Coming up, it is the semi-final. It's Newfoundland against PEI, with the winner through to tomorrow's final against Colleen Jones and Team Canada. And as we leave you tonight, our thanks to everyone here in Kitchener-Waterloo for being a wonderful host. Linda, Ray?
Well, you're right, Victor, and a little rain won't put a damper on the week we've had. The organizing committee has done a tremendous job. The Kitchener-Waterloo people have showed up, have been big crowds, and we've had a lot of fun.
We have, and we want to thank the curlers. They've been great as always. And if we talk about curlers, what a wonderful group we're going to see on the ice tonight. Interesting playoff games in the first round, and PEI, if we talk about them first, struggled in that 1-2 game. So what has to change today? Well, Suzanne Goody has to be more aggressive right from the first end. You've got the hammer, go for it. Learn from the problems that you had in reading the ice. The single sheet is different. Continue to get wonderful performances from the front end. Look at lead 94%, second 89%. What more can you want from a front end? Now let's talk about Kathy Cunningham. I think she should stick to the open style of play she plays so well. Get the hits and rolls. And she will need a good performance from Peg Goss, who has struggled on and off during the week. Kathy has to be ready to save some ends. She did it in the playoff game, and she may have to do it again today. I expect her to keep it a little more open, and sometimes that means you have to make a good draw.
That's for sure. We saw that yesterday, and Kathy will remember that for sure. She may have stole that game, yes, but through the week she made a lot of great shots to keep her team in games, and she's curled very well, and she has a habit of making the right shot at the right time. Earlier in the week, she gets a chance against Alberta to win a game with a shot through a port. Take a look at this. She throws an in-turn, it's a small hole, hit and stick, and wins that game and keeps herself going. As you mentioned, she got off to a slow start, but then she got on a roll. Suzanne Goody, what a week. But this is not a one-dimension team. This is not a one-person team. As you mentioned, Linda, all 4 of these young ladies can really throw the rock. I think she calls a great game. I agree, maybe she should go even in the first end, but she didn't skip badly yesterday. She just, one of those days, other side of the inch, we call it. The ladies from the Rock against the Islanders. This will be a good one.
So we're all set for this year's semifinal. Suzanne Goody and the team from Prince Edward Island set to play Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy Cunningham, and her team from St. John's.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by White Swan paper towel, bathroom tissue, and napkins, all in the family.
It's the home of the Ontario Hockey League Kitchener Rangers. The auditorium here in Kitchener, but this week the home of the Scott Tournament of Hearts. And on this Saturday night, we welcome you back to this semifinal, PEI against Newfoundland and Labrador. Mentioned outside, the weather is frightful. Rain and snow on the way. Time to read the ice now with Ray, brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Well, it's a tough job, but boy, hats off to David Merklinger and the crew. We've had a great surface all week. Now, it starts off with about 4 feet of curl, but it will change around that center guard. When you get around the corner guard from the inside out, once again, 4 feet. It may go more as you move on in the game. And from the outside in, again, 4. It holds a little bit, then breaks. You have to watch the slide path area. Down the middle, because it flattens out. We know it finishes very, very late. Will Jack Frost show up tonight? Let's hope not.
Let's meet the Prince Edward Island champions. Their lead, Susan McInnes, Robin McPhee, Rebecca Jean McPhee, and their skip, Suzanne Goody, out of the Charlottetown Curling Club. And the team from Newfoundland Labrador, the lead, Heather Martin, Kathy Kerr, Peg Goss, and their skip, Kathy Cunningham. They curl out of the St. John's Curling Club. Prince Edward Island finished first in the standings. They had a record of 10-1. Newfoundland 6-5. Suzanne Goody. Wow. We haven't seen many smiles from her, and here's a smile for her just to begin the game. She'll have the hammer. She had the choice of stones. She takes red. And so to get us going here in this first end of the semifinal of this year's Scott Kitchener-Waterloo, the Newfoundland Labrador lead is Heather Martin.
Well, you know, Linda, we had a discussion, and we had a friendly little discussion, you and I, about you know, last night's game with Colleen Jones and Suzanne Goody, and you know, there may have been some nervousness on the part of Suzanne and her team, but in particular Suzanne, because it's tougher when you're skipping, of course. But I just think it was, I really believe in my heart, it was just one of those days kind of where things were just not working too well. You are right, she seemed to struggle a little bit with the reading of the ice. You can see that she's going to hit this. It's on the button. A great shot.
But Linda, there was just something we had never, I had not seen that the entire week. There was a smile from her before the game even started.
Well, I thought when they were down practicing that they looked a little more relaxed than they did yesterday. You know, Vic, it's all about adjusting, and they've got a good coach in Paul Power. I know Suzanne has worked with a mental trainer before. And if it was something that happened yesterday where she did feel a little nervous, I'm quite sure that they would start to deal with it. And she would be more relaxed today. And it is about learning. Suzanne Goody is in a different position. Yes, she's been to a junior championship, a world junior championship. But the Scott Tournament of Hearts is different. And I think today she will make the adjustment. Kathy Cunningham comes into this, stealing the victory yesterday over Saskatchewan. And I think in that way, they'll also be pretty relaxed today.
Yeah, that was a big win for them, obviously, and a heartbreaker for Jan Bedker and the whole team, for the whole Saskatchewan team, because they played so well, and they definitely had control of the game, and giving up a single in 9, it tied the score, and all of us that curl know what can happen. Got caught kind of a little bit with playing away from the center into the edges, and the pebble was fresh, and it just slid. It just kept going. I think that same shot that Jan threw, if you're playing from the outside in, probably would have fudged a little bit. And
Yep.
That's going to be a little question mark, Ray, as you've talked about, there may be frost. Let's talk ice times, brought to you by Karcher. Measuring between the hog lines, hits will be 9 seconds, hack weight about 11. Draw will start at 14 seconds between the hog line, but every path could be different. The wide path could have frost. That'll slow it down. The center path, the pebble could break down. That will slow it down. So we may be looking at a time as low as 13 seconds later in the game.
it's another huge crowd too. But I was just on the ice level with Dave Merklinger. We talked about it a little bit. He said, yeah, we could have a little frost, but he said it's still, the humidity factor in here is very low. There's no problem. It's been dry all week, so you may not see any problem with a little bit of frost creeping in at all. Usually, though, when you get the humidity outside, it does transfer into a little bit of frost on the ice on the inside.
But the single sheet does react differently, and that's why I was saying that I thought, although Robin, look at those numbers, made a lot of wonderful shots. The front end curl, great. I still think that they were struggling a little bit with knowing the different paths, and I think they will learn from that experience. The single sheet, the different airflow, the different temperatures in this building. You just have to make that adjustment.
Congratulations to Dave Merklinger and his crew. It's an all-star crew of ice makers from around the province. It really is almost endless. They're here early in the morning till late at night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everywhere we go now, the technology, the know-how, the ice conditions that the teams get to play on is just fabulous.
No roll.
Good job, Kath.
A wide open end. The first rock was right on the button. I'm sure they had it slip behind the tee line or not being in that perfect spot. Suzanne probably would have thrown up the corner guard. But this is exactly how she played the first end yesterday. Wide open.
Normal. Weights up a bit.
Robin McPhee.
I think
McPhee sisters on this team.
Sorry, Vic.
Robin McPhee and
clean.
Rebecca Jean.
I think they'd like a different result than the first end yesterday, where they tried to blank the end and stuck on that blank attempt. Suzanne Goody can throw the up weight, so it's so rare to see her miss in that kind of fashion. It over curled. Kathy Cunningham and Peg Goss and the rest of the team from Newfoundland just hung in there yesterday. They got behind, but they kept getting a point and forcing a point and getting a point, and finally did get the steal and made enough good shots, right?
Peg Goss maybe struggled a little bit getting her rocks in the right positions in the early ends, but after the fifth end, boy, she didn't miss a thing. And she's going to have to play that kind of game again today, because Rebecca Jean, we know, is the top third in this event and has just had a sensational week.
Fourth appearance for Rebecca Jean. 3 is a skip.
Just
This
clean.
is the first time at the third position.
Your way,
And it goes without saying, considering they're 10-1,
That's good.
the relationship between
Shot.
Rebecca Jean and Suzanne has worked out very well.
I was very impressed with Sherry Linton, the third for Saskatchewan. You know, it was her first Scott as well, and boy, did she put on a great performance and just seemed to get better as the week went along, and certainly played so well in that 3-4 game.
Yep. Control. Yep. Yep. Hard, guys. Whoa.
When you talk about thirds, I mean, Kim Kelly just had another great week, Linda.
Well, no matter who emerges from this game, because look out, because Colleen Jones and Team Canada are waiting, and they're just getting better and better every game.
They sure are.
Normal. Oh. Clean only. Whoa, right off. Just clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Yep. Roll it. Roll it. All the way over. All the way over. Shot. Shot.
4 teams making the Page playoffs. Going into the final draw on Thursday, draw 17, there were 7 teams available or still alive for that final spot. Newfoundland, Labrador was a winner over Manitoba. The other contenders lost. And so there were no tiebreakers when it looked like, well, they might be playing all night long.
Okay, just to make sure, because I'm not, I think it
And then
might
yesterday,
zoom.
Newfoundland,
Okay, go fast.
Labrador
Once it
stealing
starts,
the
it
win
certainly,
against Saskatchewan.
Seems to
And
be.
Team Canada, Colleen Jones a winner over PEI, putting themselves into tomorrow's final.
Those numbers for Kathy may not look that high, but she made some very big shots, some very key shots in the latter part of the game. And as Ray talked about in the open, that's kind of her game. Make the big one and the right one. Overall numbers not quite as high as you might see for other skips in this position.
No roll, Heather, no roll. Okay, Kath. Okay, Kath.
Can't hold the shooter. Mentioned it was an up and down week for
Go.
the team from
Once it
St.
starts.
John's. They started out 2-4, and then they got it together, closing well with 4 wins in their last 5. And that win over Manitoba, putting them into the Final Four.
They're on a roll, and momentum, confidence, all of that plays a big part of playoff games. And those numbers are surprising because we had seen from Suzanne during the week some tremendous touch.
Wait only.
She struggled a lot with draw weight in the game yesterday.
Take a look.
This is a nice chance for her in the first end to get a draw, get some of the feel.
It's a good point, Lou. I mean, you always would like this, a free open draw in the first end, just to get a feel for the ice service.
Nice sweeping.
Speed from the hack.
Now, when you're looking for something, it could be that first game. They played Team Canada in the opening draw a week ago, Saturday afternoon, and they lost. But then they won 10 in a row. And then, of course, they lost to Team Canada in that 1-2 game yesterday. Is there a third chance for PEI? Well, they have to win this one first.
The loser, this is out, so this is a huge game.
No.
Whoa. Control. Close.
Yep. Yep.
Final stone in the first for Kathy Cunningham, Newfoundland Labrador.
Clean, clean, clean. Atta girl.
It's good.
Sits full in the
Shoot, Kat.
8th, and so now PEI will look for the blank.
Now you must get the blank here. You've got to hit and roll out here. You can't hit and stick for 1, or all the advantage of winning those 10 games and having that last rock in the first end kind of goes out the window. You didn't take any chances. You played it open. Obviously that was premeditated. They didn't want to go after the extra point that you do usually when you have the last rock. So now it's imperative that she rolls out here. This is the way you played the whole end to try and get the blank.
Heel. Clean. Heel. Whoa, just clean. Whoa, just
She failed to do it in the game against Team Canada yesterday,
shot.
but is perfect today. But gets the blank. PEI will hold on to the hammer. It's the semifinal of the Scott.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. By Ford, built for life in Canada. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
On this Saturday night, we welcome you back to Kitchener's semifinal Saturday night for the Scott Tournament of Hearts. PEI Newfoundland Labrador. A blank in the first means the team from Charlottetown still has the hammer, playing the Redstones.
Well, as we expected, Suzanne just played the first end to blanket, and she's asked for the corner guard from Susan.
It's good.
A little tighter than they wanted, but just a little too tight to the rings, but it changes the focus of this end now.
Heather Martin's numbers have been terrific this week. That's why I expect the front end matchups to be very interesting and might really
Lots of
put the
room.
pressure on the thirds to perform well.
Still lots of room.
Lots of room.
Heather in her
Still
6th
lots of
appearance
room.
at the National Championship.
And if you go back in the stats, as Linda has, you
Yep.
take a look at her Heather Martin's numbers through
Yep.
the years.
Hard.
She's always
Hurry, hurry,
consistent.
hurry,
She's
hurry.
always been at the top
Okay.
of the ladder.
Fought the flu a little bit early this week, as a number of players did,
Here's
including
good.
Marianne Way from Team Canada.
Let's go, Sue.
Heather's guard didn't curl quite enough, so Susan can see the shot stone in the house.
Normal. In between.
Whoa. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Stop.
Yep. Stay close. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa,
Yep.
whoa, whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Goes a little too far, peeks out the Wide side.
Just a touch too far. We talked in our opening comments about this team. It really is a solid team, the PEI team. There isn't a hole on it. They all throw with great rotation. They can all throw the up weight, which very few of the teams here can do. They throw it consistent. They can throw it, but these young ladies throw it consistently well, and they throw it accurately.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Chance for the roll.
Whoa.
Just like that.
That's their game. That's how they like to generate points and even get steals, by making the good roll.
Great roll, so now you need the run back. Run that right back.
Normal.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Suzanne Goody won 5 straight PEI championship teams,
Whoa.
including those 2 Canadian titles.
Shot.
And look at the spill here. Oh, not quite.
We talked about PEI and how they like to go for 2 when they have the hammer. If we talk about the conversion ratio, this is if you have the hammer, how often you can get 2 or more. In round robin play, PEI had the highest rate, 56%, nothing yesterday. Newfoundland was about the same in their playoff game as during round robin play. PEI during the week was great at take 2, give them 1, take 2, give them 1, and couldn't do it against Colleen Jones yesterday.
Whoa. No.
It's kind of like, you know, when you talk about hockey, for example, if you don't score in those power plays, you get the advantage like that, and that's the same kind of theory when you have the last rock, and it's the way the game is played by all the top players in the world today, and you'd like very much to take your opportunities when you have the hammer. This end is a good example of it. Intern come around. Just ignore the rock on the 12-foot.
Lots of room.
It's a good call. It's going to be interesting to see if there is any frost, how this stone reacts, because this is right along what would be the frost line.
Take it back.
Whoa. Take it way back, eh?
Whoa. Take it back.
It's way back on the team.
That's good.
Hey, Robin. We'll do good.
Do you consciously get in the hack knowing it's that wide side? There could be some frost and maybe up the weight a little bit.
Kathy's going to go after it right here. I'm not chasing that back stone, she says. Right in there.
Vic, sometimes you do add for the frost, but the other problem is it doesn't curl quite the same. Quite often it won't react as consistently if it rides the little line out there.
Top 8. Top 8, Kath. Yep.
It didn't seem to be anything out there at that time. They just got it out there and it stayed out there.
Where is it? Back 8. Back here? Back to it. Yep. Whoa. Okay.
I talked about the fact that PEI had done so well with the hammer. Now look at the fact that the opponent has the hammer. You're trying to force the single. In round robin play, PEI said 48% of the time, we're going to force you to a single. Yesterday, didn't do it except for once. Newfoundland during round robin play, fairly successful. Also not successful yesterday. The difference between these 2 teams, Newfoundland Labrador stole points. So they weren't able always to force the opponent, but they stole instead, and that works too.
That kind of be like a shorthanded goal?
It would be.
Yeah, against Saskatchewan, they gave up, Newfoundland Labrador gave up a 2 and a 3, but then they stole their last 3 points for the win.
Just take this stone here and move it up here, and it's a great shot. Just slip behind the tee line.
Lots of room. Well, if you can. Where? If you can, guys. Where? G.
Time the same out here as well, Linda?
Well, we thought maybe the start of the game it would be. And that would show that it is, Vic. 14 seconds.
Close.
We talked about it. You see how it
Whoa,
holds
whoa,
in the reading the ice section all week.
Nice shot,
We talk
Peg.
about how when you play the wide out turn shot like that, or in turn shot, either
Good
side
shot.
of the ice,
Good weight.
that they hold for a long time, then break late. That was a good example of it right there.
You can get to the corner.
Nice shot by Peg.
Like the same here.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. Do you like this or the peel?
I don't mind this.
I like the peel. Make them. Well, mine's back 8, right? They're not even frozen.
Yeah.
You don't like this, do you? Maybe we should peel. If we catch it skinny enough, we might wick our other red one in, eh?
Okay. Yeah.
You heard what Rebecca Jean just said. If we catch this thin enough, we might get across here. Who knows? We can maybe push that one in.
Heel.
Oh. Whoa!
Right off.
Right off!
Feathered the guard, feathered the stone on the 4-foot, got nothing.
I think. Yeah.
Hard to know if that was a little outside or if it just caught a very straight spot next to center line. Just missed.
This team throws with all kinds of rotation, and their peel weight is what we consider real peel weight. And
Doesn't have to be in, guys.
It's just with that kind of weight, it is not going to go anywhere. It's going to run
Super
dead
early.
straight
Keep
down
it out there for a bit.
Okay.
Unless it's heavy.
Yep.
Same weight, eh?
Yep.
Nine times she's been the provincial champion.
Whoa, then. Lots of line.
Tight.
Close line.
This is where they hold a bit.
Yep. Yeah.
Room.
Whoa.
Yo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where is it? 8. No. Whoa. Whoa, Kath, whoa. Yep. Yep.
Hey, girl.
Boy, to get into the 4-foot to lie 2 without here in the second.
Well, that's just even better.
No?
Yeah, it's just tough to get there, that's all.
What?
It's just tough to get there, that's all. Because of that one. But yeah, gonna have to.
I think that's all we have. I mean, at least you're going to get your draw weight here to the button, right?
Yeah.
In the ice. Even if you're back 4, Suzanne.
You heard Suzanne say it's tough to get there, and it is. That's a very tough shot. Great shot by Kathy getting that one ready on top. I thought actually that's what she was playing, and she said her comment was that's even better, and it is better. I tell you, that's a great shot.
It's very difficult as the rock is finishing into the button area to get it onto the face of the second stone and not catch the stone Kathy just threw.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
So they're just aiming for something in the 4-foot to get her the feel for that path.
Top 8, top 12. Tight. Hard.
First stone for the PEI skip here in the second.
It's just tight.
Hard, guys, quick.
It's tight. Halfway.
Whoa, whoa, leave it then. Whoa.
Totally
Yeah.
different path of ice and different speed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay. Right here would be nice, Peg.
Yeah.
I think we have to go out here.
You see where all these
89.
problems started is when this stone here, right in here, went behind this tee line. All the play, and a great call by Kathy, aggressive call. She doesn't have the hammer, and she made the call
I'd
to
like
come
to fill that
around.
hole more
That's
than
when all
anything
the
else.
problems
Okay.
started.
But if it's going, you can take it
top 4, no deeper than the other 2.
So Linda, she'll
Okay.
try and wrap this around, maybe
Is it
take
all
away
puckable?
that angle raise that is possibly there for PEI.
Yeah.
She's trying to
Well,
come
top-
in, that's
top
for sure.
12.
Yeah, she's coming right in, Vic. If she can come to the top of the 8-foot, that raise would be gone. And
Suzanne wouldn't have a lot.
I'll say.
And this is a similar situation to what happened to Suzanne yesterday, although in that situation she didn't have the hammer. The same kind of come-arounds were made by Team Canada in
room.
the same
12.
spots as
Room.
Kathy has today.
Room. Whoa. Close, Kath.
Close.
Whoa.
You're on her own.
Whoa.
8 foot.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
She's come to play, this lady.
Yeah.
Look at this here.
Hard.
Needs to come a little bit more. A little bit more for third shot.
That's it, guys.
To lie 3 without Newfoundland and Labrador.
She's trying to beat them at their own game. Great come-arounds by Kathy.
Well, you got to give Kathy a lot of credit.
bit more
She
still.
ignored the stone at the back, the shot rock, and played a come around, set the end up to steal, and then all of a sudden PEI is playing a raise to the button to try and cut this end down.
Needs at least a quarter of the button. Put a quarter of the stone on the button.
She'd take the 4-foot right now.
It's a lot of ice too.
Final stone facing 3, trying for the angle raise. Suzanne Goody.
Whoa. Just for line. Weight's good.
No line yet.
Okay, weight's good.
Close. Line's great. Line's okay. Whoa.
Whoa.
Nothing
Got
yet
lots-
from Robin
lots
McPhee or
of
Susan
weight.
McInnes.
Yep.
Line was good.
Whoa,
Now
whoa,
will
whoa,
it sit
whoa.
in time? It has to sit and sit quickly, and it will go too far. 2 for sure. And it appears it is 2, a steal of 2 for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Measured. 2 for sure. 2 for sure.
2 for sure, and they're going to measure, but from this view, it does look like red is third shot.
Well, she certainly read the ice well, and because it did come, I was afraid it might hold out there a little bit at first with that little extra weight you have to throw for a raise, but good read on the ice. Just a couple of feet too heavy. Those are tough shots. And I agree with you, Victor. It's a score of 2.
Yeah. She threw it well.
Two it is for Kathy Cunningham. Newfoundland Labrador here in the second. They have the early lead in the semifinal of the Scott in Kitchener-Waterloo.
Yeah. Not bad.
Steal of 2 for Newfoundland Labrador in the second. So the team from St. John's is up. PEI with the hammer. So it was mistakes, quite obviously. You said one came deep, but then again, the other thing is Rebecca Jeans. Remember her second one.
The peel missed.
The peel. If she gets the peel or gets the one stone off the button, I mean, she got nothing.
That's a good shot.
There's no question the wide open miss really changed the complexion, but it all started with the rock slipping behind the tee line and a good call by Kathy Cunningham to go aggressive. She didn't play down to it. She didn't try and eliminate that situation. She played the come around. She asked for a top 4-foot. That's exactly where she got it, and that started it. When the shot was so good, Rebecca Jean was asked to play the peel.
Wait only. Wait
The miss
for
of the
it.
peel set up the situation,
Wait
and
for
2
it.
good come arounds by Kathy
Long
herself.
line. Brew.
Here we go.
Yep.
It's the first time since 1985 that two Atlantic teams have met each other in the semifinal.
Hurry. Real hard. Hurry.
Virginia Jackson, Nova Scotia, and Sue Ann Bartlett of Newfoundland. Played in '85, Bartlett winning 8-3.
Okay.
I think Kathy may have just thrown Suzanne off just a little bit with their call for the come around, as opposed to coming down to it, because she has all week, Kathy, been a touch more defensive conscious, but they've already obviously talked this over, and that was a definite attempt at that point to she wanted top 4 foot, and that's exactly where she got it, and she wanted to go on the offense, and exactly what she did.
And it's only 2 points on the board. It may not look like a lot, but it really changes the complexion of the game, because we talked about the styles that these two teams like. Newfoundland can defend well. They can play the hits well. So if they happen to get a lead, they're pretty happy.
Lots of room.
PEI likes to play from ahead. They don't like to come from behind. They haven't had to do it all week. So it really changes the way these two teams now are going to have to approach this game.
No,
well, I think you were saying earlier, Linda, when you were looking at the stats, that only once were they behind. They weren't behind at all.
Not at all during round robin.
Good.
They were behind a few early, but not by the 5th end.
Any
I
lifts?
think they were down 2-0 to Quebec at one day, if I remember that.
A little more than a quarter. A third. Just here.
Corner of the stone in the house is exposed for Robin.
Heck. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Now, after a situation like that, your team really has to come up big for you, Linda, so you don't put your skip in that kind of a situation. Good. Oh, what a good shot.
The top edge of the floor. And Linda, you were talking about PEI and just how aggressive and the kind of leads they had.
Well, it's amazing. If you look during round robin play, they were ahead by 1 point in 2 games, 2 points in 3 games, 3 points in 1 game, and 4 points in 3 games at that 5th end break. The other 2 games, they were tied. So they've never trailed at the 5th end break until yesterday when they played Colleen Jones, and she got the lead on them, and they could not come from behind and win.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Good. Nice rock, Kath. Girl.
Kathy Kerr. Suzanne Goody had such a great run, Linda, to finish 10-1. And let's not forget, this is the first time a PEI team has ever been in a semifinal. She did not play well yesterday. I mean, how fragile is she mentally right now about the game?
The fact that she just gave up the deuce is not a really positive thing for her, but she did look more relaxed, as you mentioned there. And I think as long as the team makes some good shots and they get some points on the board quickly, she'll be okay.
Okay.
Looking for the inside roll, but no such luck.
Troll.
The thing you do have to remember is that Kathy Cunningham has been to 9 of these events. So it's a whole different concept. Truly, she hasn't been in this position before, but she's been at 9 Scots, so.
Yep. Hurry. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep. A little bit more.
Wayne Gretzky and Dave Hodge will sit down and have an Olympic reflection on the Canadian men's gold medal at Salt Lake City. It was a year ago. You'll see it tomorrow, Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, just prior to Nashville and Toronto, the NHL on TSN.
Whoa. Roll it. Yep. Right over.
Okay. One thing that can be pretty frustrating is to see your opponent make a lot of good shots. A wonderful roll by Peg Goss, and the run back attempt just not successful.
That was one of the things they said was a problem with Peg Goss earlier in the week. Their coach Gene Blackie saying to me that they got her to slow down, Linda, and that was just part of it there. The pre-shot routine. She was just hurrying too much.
And we've talked about it when some people have a very definite routine, Vic, where they adjust their glasses and do some things. And you have to be careful you don't take those things out, because it is the pacing of the game and the way you get into the hack and use your routine to mentally prepare and all those sorts of things.
I don't know, they just didn't take enough ice or that caught something, because it sure went sideways.
It sure did.
Hack. Okay.
Hack. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hard.
Diving at that guard. Got it by.
Lovely shot by Rebecca Jean.
Nice shot.
And this was a big scrub and a big shot, because you don't want 2 ends in a row to have your skip facing a tough situation with a rock in the 4-foot area and guards up.
For sure, and there's no chance for an inside roll here, so Suzanne's going to have a chance for a hit and roll behind, or if Kathy happens to roll out, you get a chance to draw. Set up your second point if possible.
Whoa, off. No. 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 Whoa. Whoa.
Close to the right one, Kath.
Whoa.
Yeah, oh yeah. Watch the roll there, Heather.
Roll it, Heather. Right out.
It looked like Kathy was maybe a tiny bit outside. That one really curled for her.
Yeah, she kind of, and she slid a little wide and kind of put it over a little bit, got it going a little bit.
Do you like that bump on the red one?
Do I like the bump on the red? Not bad. Come around, not bad either.
Or the hit and roll?
Hit and roll.
Or the bump on the red?
Okay. Either or then.
What do you like?
Where are we gonna? Where's this one at? Just above the tee?
A foot or so.
Yeah. If you get the roll, you're gonna be back behind the tee, eh? No.
Don't think so.
Okay. Whatever you like.
I think this is the shot. If you don't make the
what do you like, Robin?
the raise properly, you're going to be staring at 2 again.
This?
You could definitely tap that one back, but
Do you like that bump on the red?
Yep.
Can you afford to ignore that yellow stone?
I'm not sure you want to look at just
Do you
after
like that
what
better?
happened last end.
I don't mind playing either.
Well, you're leaving her the hit and roll in off of it.
Okay.
I mean, we can play this. If you
No,
make it
play
good.
that.
So they're going, Linda, can you afford to leave that Yellowstone?
Well, you can definitely afford to, because it's just biting the 8-foot. You could draw in or you could tap in, but I agree with Ray. I think based on the circumstances, the scoring last end, I would play this a little safer. Make sure I get a good shot down there. Go for the big roll.
I got it.
If you don't get the roll, you still won't be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's 2-0. It's not 6-0, and also it's only the third end. You don't have to be pushing any buttons. You just have to play aggressively and get yourself back in. But she could go down staring at 2 again if she doesn't make the raise properly.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yeah.
Suzanne Goody in her first.
Curl too much.
And the shooter will go out the back.
Good try.
That one seemed to just curl. I didn't see anything dramatic in the way she threw it.
At the hog line, she almost called them off.
That's right.
And then it just broke on her. Didn't want to give Kathy Cunningham
Goes fast at the end, guys. So you
this
yeah,
open
you
draw.
can sweep it early if you want. You can wait at the end then.
Yeah. Probably 12 each. Yeah, then go. Hard for line. Line's okay. Yep. Hard
Heather
for
Martin
line.
on the
Aim
left,
for weight.
Kathy
Yeah,
Kerr
hard
on
for
the
line.
right.
Yes! Whoa! Whoa!
Expecting it to break late, she said.
She gets lots of movement on her stones because of the way she releases it.
Yeah!
She can sink them.
Yeah! Whoa!
Top 4, and she'll put it just behind the tee line, back of the button.
Keep, guys. Nice weight.
Yeah. You know, 2 inches high.
Kathy understands pressure. She got lots of movement on this. Look at it go. It's just moving sideways, and that's the late finish we've talked about all week.
Nice rock. Whoa!
It is hard to follow her rocks, though. We talked about Suzanne Goody's positive release, lots of rotation, very different from the reaction of that stone that Kathy threw. So you can see the broom for this draw is further inside, just the edge of the 8-foot rather than into the 12-foot.
So facing one with her last one, Suzanne Goody, trailing 2-0 as we play in the third.
Just for line.
Lots of line.
And needing this point for confidence as much as anything.
Really got to move here.
Just for line.
Whoa.
She has a lot more
At the end.
rotation. She
Now,
doesn't
yeah.
get the... What a great shot that is under the pressure.
That'll help the confidence as she picks up the single here in 3. They were the leaders all week. Suzanne Goody, Rebecca Jean McPhee, Robin McPhee, and Susan McInnes. Prince Edward Island out of the Charlottetown Curling Club. With a record of 10-1, they were 2 games clear of Team Canada. Colleen Jones was 8-3, Saskatchewan 7-4, Newfoundland 6-5. But then in that 1-2 game, Colleen Jones was the winner, advancing through to Sunday's final. Newfoundland and Labrador steal against Saskatchewan and setting up this semi-final as we go to the 5th here at the Odd in Kitchener, 3-1. Newfoundland Labrador leading, PEI playing the Redstones with the hammer.
Top of the button, good shot, corner guard.
Give full credit to Heather Martin. She's really placing those first stones very nicely in the top of the button area. But this is a big end. I talked about how Suzanne Goody had not trailed during the week in round robin play when we talked about the 5th end break. It would be great to get a deuce here and tie this one up.
Mentioned the first time in a semi-final for PEI. Newfoundland been to the semis
Any of that?
5 previous times. 4 by Sue Ann Bartlett and 1 by Laura Phillips.
Just here.
Just a corner peeking out, so a little hit here and a roll behind the red stone.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. Yep. Gotta go all the way. Gotta go all the way. All the way. Yeah. Hard. 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 Right. Yep. Hard. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
And now the roll over. Not quite. Never won. They came close with Sue Ann Bartlett. A dozen times. She lost the final 3 times.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And one of them, of course, to Linda.
Hard. Hurry. Quick. Hard. 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 Hard.
This is great shot making. Just about got the roll back to the position behind the guard.
It's also a great indication of how good the ice is, Linda. So our viewers can see, you know, there's guards and only corners showing, but you're still getting movement with that light bumper weight. That's what makes the game so interesting nowadays, and that's the technicians we have across the country give us surfaces like this.
Hack to soft.
Get rocks buried. You can make the quiet tap backs.
Just hack.
I don't know if you heard the one curler, I don't know who it was, when they were going down, they said, boy, is it ever dry out here. So despite the humidity outside, I guess they've got the dehumidifiers working in here on this Saturday night.
Building's a little warmer tonight, Lou, I think, you know. We don't.
I think it is
Yesterday
too.
we needed our coach kind of idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge crowd again. Just fantastic crowds.
Whoa. Ah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Hard. Whoa.
Better roll this time. No, it's a teaser. It's there for either team.
Throw the same weight.
Marie Toole in 1974 was a runner-up, but that was prior to playoffs.
Hack. Same.
Whoa. Right off. Clean. Okay.
It was interesting they didn't brush that all the way. Maybe you could try to get the roll the other way. I guess Suzanne thought it would break enough to roll behind the center.
It really finishes hard in this spot. It's interesting that they're not able to get the roll because it does curl a lot. So they've been trying to get the roll behind the yellow guard rather than try to force it over to the other side.
Goss.
Roll it. Yep. Go.
This time?
Go. Good.
Tucks
Well,
the
Peg
piece
is
behind.
Peg is playing well. Very, very well.
Still have all that rock, eh?
What?
Like 3/4 of that rock.
Yeah, we don't need to put that. Okay, we're here.
Want to get our deuce. They can still play the hit and roll, but the rock is in the 12-foot now, so they're going for their second point right here with a come around.
T. Yep. T line. Hard only. Hard for line.
Hard for line.
Hard.
Quick.
Real struggle to get it by the guard.
Sorry. Yep.
Right in.
Hold it
Great,
right there.
will.
great
Just
rushing.
never gave up on it.
Another golden opportunity for Peg Goss to get around here now.
It's good for the brushers to get that in position. First of all, it's a biter, and it might come into play that way, but you know, it's another rock you can roll in off of if you get into trouble. Great to stick with those rocks and get them as far as you can.
Yeah, your tendency would be just to give up on it. You didn't make your shot, so why should we bother? But after that rub on the guard has been pushed over now to the center line. Cunningham out to join Kerr and Martin.
Every bit. All right.
Great. Boy, they sink it. Just top edge of the button.
Straight.
Rebecca Jean had the first shot at it, and when she chipped the front rock, it left the door open, and Peg made no mistake.
Get past the yellow one in the house.
See any of that?
Oh, less than a quarter, maybe a quarter.
You could throw this.
We don't like going the
I
other
don't see anything on this side.
I know. Here.
Can I get through between that yellow and the top 12?
Yeah.
You just need to get by that front one.
Okay.
You can do it with quiet weight.
Let's go.
Hack?
Yeah.
Rebecca Jean McPhee.
Back line. Yep.
Hard. Hurry!
Trying to thread the needle.
Roll it off.
They're trying to just get the guard now. She was inside, and with this weight, they're going to have to really go to get it to roll.
Guard, Peg.
Rebecca Jean is really struggling. She's just was down a little bit on her weight on that shot for sure, and she, as you mentioned, must have been inside. That wasn't even close.
Just a little tight. Maybe quiet.
Well, they had mentioned bumper weight, didn't they?
Yeah, that was definitely down weight. That was back 12-foot weight.
Yep.
We talk about this all the time. It's a game of pressure, and Kathy's game plan is obviously very clear. She's going to keep the pressure on this team all the way. Showed us that when she ignored without last rock, ignored a stone in the back 12-foot and played the come around.
Whoa! More than halfway. Where? A little more than halfway. Whoa.
Playing the guard, looking for it about halfway.
Where?
That'd be about a 15.5 maybe second rock.
Gonna get it to the line.
Whoa! It's on the line on its own.
Okay, leave it alone.
No.
Leave it alone.
No.
Whoa, rock. Sit. Stop, rock.
Sit.
Stop.
Just curls a bit more than they want.
This much, eh?
Not much, Kathy. Just
Okay.
curled a
Coming this way?
6 inches or 5 inches.
The roll? Well, you could probably do this. Try.
Okay.
Check it out. Well, as long as you stay for shot.
What do you like?
What are you playing? You're just trying to get it all the way out? Hack? Is that what you're playing?
Hack and to hit it, like get to the nose of it.
Okay. Okay.
Or what do you like?
Yeah. No, this is good.
Got to stay for shot is what you mentioned. The left-hander's out turn.
Hack!
Goody and her first.
Hack! Hurry, Hack!
McInnes on the left. McPhee on the right. Really good brush. And they'll roll it away to line shot, edge of the four.
It was interesting. Suzanne said she wanted to try and get to the nose. That was, I think, almost impossible, maybe impossible with the weight she threw. And I think maybe they should have brushed it a bit sooner and tried to get the roll a little further.
No, there was no way to get to the nose of that stone. Not with that weight.
Not with that weight.
No. Kathy would like to roll right back in behind the guard.
Yep. Whoa. Control, Peg. Yeah. Yeah.
Her and Martin back right off. On its own now, looking for the roll.
That's my fault.
That's good.
Okay, let's go.
We've seen so many quiet weight hits. Kathy threw that little bit extra weight and didn't get the curl on it. Was hoping for the roll, but it just didn't move over enough.
Looking for the hit and stick for a single here in 5.
In between. Clean. Soft to normal. Clean only. Just clean. Whoa. Whoa, just clean.
shot.
PEI will get their one.
Okay.
And so they'll go to the break. Newfoundland with a 3-2 lead. And in Scott play, the leader at the fifth end break has a record of 14 wins and 2 losses. Let's meet the two teams throwing lead stones for PEI. Susan McInnes. Newfoundland Labrador, Heather Martin. The seconds, Robin McPhee and Kathy Kerr. Throwing third stones, Rebecca Jean McPhee and Peg Goss. And the skips, PEI Suzanne Goody out of Charlottetown. Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy Cunningham, the St. John's Curling Club. 12 teams began play a week ago. We're down to the final 3 at this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts in Kitchener-Waterloo. It's our yearly visit with John McClellan, the corporate vice president of Scott Paper. Nice to see you again. And should say, if he, well, he'd look great, but maybe the eyes are a little squinty because how long was the flight from Bangkok to Thailand?
Close to 20 hours.
20 hours, cutting his trip short so he could be back for this championship weekend. No curling in Thailand, I imagine.
Only golf at 37 and humidity, no curling.
22 years is the Association for Scott Paper. Think back to those early days, those discussions about Scott getting involved. Could you ever have imagined it would have grown to this 22 years later?
Vic, when we first became associated with ladies curling, we felt there was tremendous potential to help grow the awareness of the sport. But I don't think in our wildest dreams or imaginations we would ever have envisioned curling becoming the sport that it has.
And then, too, I would think then there may have been thoughts of an Olympic sport. Now it is a full-fledged medal sport, and that it just enhances it.
Yeah, without question. I mean, we have noticed a real bump in viewership, of course, and overall profile of the sport since the Olympic medal rounds.
Well, we look forward, hope there's another 22 years in there for Scott Association with the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. Nice to see you as always, and we've got a place for you to have a little nap if you want, okay?
Thank you, Vic. I'll take you up on that.
Okay. Time for the teams to sit and chat with their coaches. Newfoundland Labrador with a 3-2 lead, and they will have the hammer when we begin play in the 6th.
Thanks, buddy.
We're in Kitchener-Waterloo for the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
That's it. I've had it.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Purex Bathroom Tissue. Pillowy softness you can see and feel.
Welcome back to TSN's final night of coverage of this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. 3-2, Newfoundland Labrador leading PEI as the first stone is on its way in the 6th. Prince Edward Island lead Susan McInnes.
It's been a great game. The big difference, Linda, so far really has been the play of Rebecca Jean. Now, she led all the thirds all week long, and it doesn't seem herself out there tonight. She missed that peel, which we didn't see much of that, and then she missed the first chance at a great opportunity to get that come around and set up the possibility of scoring a deuce. So it's Rebecca Jean tonight that's just a little off. She's going to have to pick it up the back half of this game if they're going to have a chance to beat Kathy Cunningham and this team that is playing very, very, very well. If Kathy gets the roll that last end, Rebecca is in big trouble.
Suzanne would have been looking at 2 and 1 buried.
Suzanne would have been staring at 2, right?
The 3-2 score currently ties the lowest scoring semifinal
I got
ever.
half of it.
You know which the lowest scoring game was, Linda?
I don't mind the
I think it was the semifinal I played in 1986.
Yes, you're right.
And that was the final score of that game.
You never put any rocks in play. You hit everything in sight.
It was before the free guard zone rule, and you're right, we did.
Against Sue Ann Bartlett, 3-2 the final. You won that one.
Just for one.
You really beat up on Sue Ann, didn't you? How many times did you...
Becky.
Only played her the twice.
Yes. Becky. Hard. T-line.
Yeah. Bye. Just for weight. Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah. Buy the other yellow one. Yep.
Top 8. Yep.
Corner.
Hard.
farther.
Hard.
Susan McInnes. Very nice brushing to get it to the top 4. Time to check the numbers after 5, brought to you by True Value Hardware. Help is just around the corner.
We'll talk about coming out to play. Look at the numbers for Newfoundland Labrador, 91% for a team. And Ray talked about the matchups. If you talk about Peg Gosh, she's at 83%, her high for the week. And Rebecca Jean is only at 65%. And that's why we talk about the third matchup. It sets up the end. It takes the pressure off your skip. The entire Cunningham team are performing their best of the week.
Well, Kathy Cunningham's having a bad day. Bad
She's at
game.
100%.
I know.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right. It's good.
I never got 100% even in woodworking at school. I don't think I've ever thrown a 100% game. Well, of course I have. I know I haven't.
So the first little mistake, but the rock that was in the ring, shot rock, it's still there, but it is wide open, Robin. Now we'll try and put a second one in there.
Line weight's good, just for
19
line.
years of age. She'll turn
Lots of room.
20 in
Line
August.
only.
Still a junior eligibility.
Okay, we got the weight.
Robin McPhee.
Lots of room.
Okay, we're T-line on its own. Coming down
12,
now.
8. Top 4, T-line. We go way back?
Yep. That's good.
Well, they wanted that one up higher than the wide open one.
Hit and roll from the outside one now.
Robin's went just a little too far.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're going to play it the other way first. Kathy's setting up here, and this is some patience we haven't seen either. She normally would go after the open one and go for rolls. They were very good at the hits. First, she's going to try and get the one frozen to the face.
Kathy Kerr.
Yeah, just line, Kath.
What do you got?
Back 4, back 8.
Whoa.
Come down.
Whoa.
Still there.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Yep. Hard. Hurry, quick. Hard.
Martin and Goss dragging it. Oh, that little rub.
Whoa. Okay. Girl.
And it'll spill to be shot.
It was perfect, Linda, but she lost the handle. They don't have the same kind of rotation that the PEI team plays with, and as a result,
back 4.
the ice is it's the
Same
5th,
weight.
6th end now is getting a little softer.
Yeah, same weight.
Just lost her turn. Otherwise, it's perfect.
And that is going to be the interesting thing in this second half of the game, to see how these stones react. We said this is the time of the game. Might get a little frost, but definitely the pebble will break down a tiny bit down the center.
Weight's close.
Stopwatches will be out getting the intervals on all of these to make sure that the rock isn't going to die when it hits the paint.
Yep.
Just for weight.
Where?
Just
Needs
for
it.
weight.
Top 4.
Can they get down to it? Can they get down and just tap it back a little bit?
Hard.
Oh, they'll stop top
good,
4.
Chuck.
One thing you said all week was that PEI threw with such positive rotation. Would that be an advantage for them now here?
Yeah,
when the ice changes
definitely.
like this?
When I talked to actually Dave Merklinger about that, and he was saying too that the key is that they have lots of rotation, so the ice surface doesn't affect that stone as much. And reading, and they all throw the same way, so that they can read they read the ice
There's the
well
red
off those
bump back.
stones.
Is the red bump back there?
Yeah. The only problem is it'll be going that way, right?
That's right.
You're going to play it now. I talked about the patience, waiting, knowing the shot would be there if they needed it.
Hit and roll.
Setting up a deuce, maybe even more if they can get a mistake from PEI.
Whoa.
Control.
No.
Never.
Close. Clean. Yeah. Hard.
Trying to jump it across to lie 2.
Great shot.
Like that. Boy, Kathy, yeah, she's shaking her head now. She was shaking her head when she let it go.
I shot like that one.
this kind of weight.
Okay. It's a lovely shot, but this red one can be moved up, and it will start to create a pocket behind Suzanne's rock if they raise it at the appropriate angle.
She's playing it with pretty solid weight here.
Hack.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yes! Hard!
They lost that.
Oh, they lost it.
That's good.
That was a perfectly thrown stone. Just a brushing scenario there.
The frustration showing on the face of Rebecca Jean McPhee.
You brushed this. They never touched it all the way down. Then all of a sudden it broke across. You gotta, once you're even close, you gotta hammer it.
Peg Goss.
A little tight on the broom. Don't go for the
Halfway.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa. No. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's nice, Peg. Good.
What to do?
Well, it's got to peel the front and hope that at some point get a better chance at.
Peel that or come to here.
Back.
Talking about peeling the
That
guard.
was this yellow. Are the other two yellow going?
Yeah, we pick our red, making it easy for them to get the whole bucket full. Aren't we?
Peel that one. She talked about maybe coming down on this situation here. She can't see much of it.
This way or the other way?
We'll peel
Don't
that.
mind this way.
You don't think that other shot's there? Straight back on the yellow?
I think you're either looking at peeling or setting something up for the next one by putting something in the top of the house. I don't really think you can come into the 4-foot.
Whoa!
I don't know what's happening to Rebecca Jean's shots. I didn't think she was that far off. But they're really, really curling on them.
That worked out pretty well for her. Could have been a disaster. And it's frozen now.
It would appear that yellow, Newfoundland Labrador, is shot.
Yeah, it looks that way for sure. Can't afford to move it anywhere though, Vic.
Shot. I think we're shot. That's why I stopped. I think we're shot. The only thing is that she can bump it, right? I mean, all she has to do is bump it.
Yeah.
And she'd be shot. She might be in line 3.
Are we shot?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
If we peel the front,
That's what I don't like about peeling it,
she's
right?
going to squirt it out. Squirt it out, right?
Got to kill the red one when you're squirting it out.
We can bump those 2 yellow ones if we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only other thing she's going to do maybe is, can she come this way and squirt that yellow around that guard?
She can a little bit.
You know, 'cause
We
can
can
always
come in
use
on
those.
top of it too.
Yeah. Because we can bump the yellow around after.
Well, yeah. What do we get out of it though? What do we get out of it if we bump the yellow around?
I don't think we'll get much out of it.
No, so we're probably better off protecting
this side.
not giving her that bump, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
swing in there. She only got to touch it, right?
That's right.
You want to go here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting situation. The way the yellow stones in the top of the 8-foot lined up as well, they could have lined up differently and benefited Newfoundland, but one stacked on top of the other, the angle isn't as good for them. And they're very concerned about the red onto yellow scenario on the button.
Good fox.
Just playing the guard.
Lots of line. Yep.
Halfway.
Yep. Tight. Whoa. Yep. Tight. Good. Just clean. Yep. 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 Hurry. Yep. Okay. That's good. It's good, Peg. It's good.
Still yellow, eh?
Yeah.
Through the hole that way?
Yeah. You get through there?
You know, the one here, it's not bad.
You have to make a choice. Are you going to try and make a play and try and sit shot, or hope they only get one?
She's talking about making a play this
Probably
way.
could.
What are you thinking? Who shot? They shot?
They're
She
shot.
also got these
Okay.
to think about here.
Pretty
There.
close
I mean,
to
if you
being
can
a
just
hole
move
to get
it.
in there to tap that one. don't
What?
you think? There's almost a hole to get in there just
Yeah,
to
that's
tap
what
it
we're
back.
thinking.
Just coming like here. Just gotta make sure we don't move this rock here, eh? Then I think, are we opening it up if we do? If you just get by that top and then just let it finish with back 4 weight,
Well, I
it
think
just
that's-
might come, eh?
Well, even if you just get to the nose of it,
Yep.
you just got to move it.
I mean, she's got 2 raises, right?
You see the PEI coach, Paul Power, upper left. And then it's Jean Blackie, who is the coach for Newfoundland, bottom right.
Yeah. I don't think it will. We just gotta make sure we don't get that.
Like we can set
Otherwise,
something
we
up
give her
over
this,
there,
eh?
but she'll probably discard it.
Otherwise, you give her this and she's gonna just blast it. So,
What had happened if you feuded? It's not going anywhere. She just. No, we'll just go closer.
Do you want to take the risk, or do you want to try
If you
and
hit
prevent
this and
them
touch
from
that,
getting more than
could
one?
it just move out a little bit? Even?
This?
Yeah.
It's not going out though.
No, but just even if it moved.
Are you giving her
Tiny
an easier
bit.
shot
Yeah,
for
she
deuce,
could
though,
move
then?
the yellow a little.
I like trying to come through with back.
just go
4
through.
weight.
Just gotta make sure we don't hit this one, eh? 'Cause you don't want to open up and let her just come down and blast those 2 red, eh? As long as we stay on the side of the yellow, right?
Well, if we hit this one right on the nose, right?
Yeah.
Would our red be shot then?
I think it's just going to move that yellow one closer to the,
No, it's going that way.
not the one behind.
I think so, Suzanne. But you just have to play it, just to tap.
Want to call it
eh?
time?
Yeah.
Right?
So
You
they'll
hit this
call a
so that it just
timeout.
hits
Each
that
team
right
given
there.
2
Should
one-minute
just knock it off
timeouts
enough
in
to
addition to
think
the
we can shot it.
73
You
minutes
mean off
they
of
have.
these?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, it might move out a bit.
Well, it'll
Why?
move as far as there, and that's all you kind of
Even
Yeah.
if you just throw like half
But you
weight,
just-
and then these
Well,
will
I don't
just.
think you need even half.
She said, I don't think you want to move them in closer to the 4 foot though.
I don't think it matters.
What? I mean, she's got one of those raises either way,
You
eh?
call timeout?
What? Suzanne did.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I'm thinking is if you played something down on this side,
Yeah.
out front, you're going to take away this bump, which I don't know if it's there anyway.
We're thinking, Paul, actually, if you hit this one here.
Yeah, I was
and
thinking
hit
that, but if you ever get the angle on it wrong and we're sitting up high, we're just begging for trouble on the next one, right? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
If we get angled off that top one a little bit wrong,
Yeah.
say on the high side, It's just angled right back into our red one there, right?
Yeah.
If we're not dead smack in the right
I
spot.
don't like trying to come right through the port.
Well, I don't mind that. And then take away that red rays at the
No,
same
but
time.
coming right to the face of it?
Like coming to here.
I don't know if you can get it,
Well,
but it's pretty tough.
yeah, I don't mind that.
The problem is,
Well, I had sooner short.
I think you could come through the hole.
Okay, we're out of here.
But you
Go
can't.
get it.
But you can't. Can you risk touching the front one? That's the problem.
Not bad.
I would.
I just think if you're moving these and set up that wrong, I agree with him. You're going to give her that easy for a...
Yeah.
Right now, they're not coming back into that pot.
This angle is good for PEI right now. It's not a great angle, and if you alter it, it could set it up wrong. The trouble with trying to come through here, and it's definitely there just to touch it. But if you ever touch this one here and push it over, then you can see what can happen. They can come right down on it.
She's got this?
Yeah. Come
And,
right in
and both
here.
reds will be going.
You like that?
I just think we play it wide. If we end up staying right there, it's not the end of the world, right? You like that? If we end up sitting right corner in this, that's not bad either.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still leaving it that, but we can't block both sides, right?
So what kind of weight? Like back button?
Yeah, like on...
Well, they're going to try it. It really is a bit of a risk. The two yellows are in a position now where they're not usable by Newfoundland and Labrador. If you jiggle them, if you leave your shooters sitting on the top one at the wrong angle, but even if you just free them up so that either yellow can be slashed back into the red, it's big trouble. This is the one Suzanne wanted to play all along.
She's just playing a draw down into this area here. Unfortunately, you can't get it to curve like that. But just you cannot touch that high one. And as Linda mentioned, those two Yellowstones are not at a very good angle for Newfoundland right at this minute.
Suzanne Goody in her first here in the sixth.
Wait's perfect. Wait's perfect. Whoa. Yeah. Wait's great.
Got to get by that top guard. First things first, got to get it by that guard.
It's by the guard.
That's that one. Now can you get it by this one?
Curl.
No.
Whoa. That's fine.
That's good. Takes this away.
Shoot. What?
It was so close.
Shoot, close. No shot.
It was the perfect weight.
And she had at least a quarter of a stone.
That's where the little extra rotation kind of worked against her a little bit. Someone throwing a little bit less, it might make a bit more curl, but
Also, if you could risk grazing by that red one, but they were so afraid of it over curling onto that guard, so they took a little bit of an extra chance with the brushing on that side.
Block off that hole so she can't do that again.
Yep.
Just guarding.
Halfway is good in front of those yellow ones, okay? Okay.
I liked one of Suzanne's comments when she said we could play a rock over on the 12-foot that we could use later on the other side of the sheet.
Exactly.
I certainly would have given that some thought.
Tight.
Well then.
Now Kathy may have hit it or guarded it, so.
Whoa. Where? Halfway. Where? Halfway. Tight.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Off, Kath.
Off, Kath.
Whoa. Whoa.
Stop.
Whoa.
Okay.
So, do you take a chance? Is there enough of that yellow to move up onto the red?
Get enough of their yellow.
And you're bumping a yellow to your two reds.
Just about to the nose.
It is, Vic, as long as you're bumping it at the right angle.
That's what she's going to play.
Play it quiet.
Back 8? Well,
I was thinking a little bit more than that.
yeah, you're going to need more than that because you got to move so many. What do you want to throw?
Her guard ended up in a good spot, too. She took away anything off them other yellows.
Just want your shooter to stay there, though, eh?
you make this right, are you just trying to tap the yellow back so your shot stone, or are you trying to move it far enough to maybe lie 2, maybe even lie 3?
Your last one was probably top
I don't think the
4.
yellow on the button is going to go very far. This is not going to go long. It'll go out a bit, this one here.
She needs to get, excuse me, get to the nose, though. If it's an angle over onto the other yellows, you might jiggle things around and leave something.
Final stone for Goody. Trying to get it by their own first now. They did. Angle it back. 1, 2, bang it out. To line 1.
One of the things that's obvious now too, how flat the rings are a little bit now, that sliding path, because the rocks don't go very. You see how quickly both the yellow and the red just stop dead flat. That's the kind of fudging we talk. That's a little bit of the fudging we talk about.
Great sweeping, guys.
Just a little tap tap. Okay. Really have to get as much of the nose of it as we can. Okay.
So tap on the yellow to.
Back forward.
I don't.
Okay.
Can she get to it?
She needs almost a pin here.
Yeah, I don't think it's lined up proper for it. But she doesn't have anything.
No, she doesn't. If it was frozen, you could get a better angle, but I think there might be just a little bit too much separation to get much of the drag effect going on those two stones. So they will tap straighter than they might if they were frozen.
Whoa! Yo!
Martin and Kerr.
Whoa!
Through the hole.
Whoa!
Yes. Oh no! And it will be a steal of 1 for PEI here in the 6th. The key shot is brought to you by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain. Really key shots.
Well, they are. We're going to show you 2 shots by Suzanne Goody. Remember, she got off to a tough start. The team was struggling, especially Rebecca Jean McPhee. You have to like what you see here. They try a very difficult shot. Something could have gone wrong with both of these shots. This one actually sets up the second one. Doesn't make what she wants, but Ray gets it in a position that can be used.
Well, you're right about the fact those are very risky shots, but she plays a great shot. Now this is a yellow onto red to tap to the button, and she actually, to be honest with you, Linda, I think she gets a little bit unlucky here. The fly path is a little flat. Watch when she makes the contact. I thought she might be lying too. The yellow stone just doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of, you know, hits that fudge, and then of course Kathy didn't have very much on, to be honest with you, but she had to try and get over the face of that. She had the weight.
So the steal of 1 by PEI evens it at 3-3 as we go to the 7th.
Wait. In between.
Newfoundland Labrador with the hammer.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Little hit and roll, Susan McInnes, and so PEI going after the team from St. John's again.
Yep. Now you have to think a little momentum swing happened in that last end. PEI getting back on track with the shot in 5. But what a wonderful steal that end. Real boost for PEI. So Heather Martin and the girls from the Rock have to place very strongly this end and kind of quiet down that PEI squad.
Roll it, Kath. Roll it. Good.
Heather Martin opens it up.
Kath.
Is it sometimes, and maybe it's just here upstairs,
I told you.
but PEI, you talked about the conversion rate and how good it was when they had the hammer. They seem to struggle at times with the hammer. Is it, in fact, maybe a little easier for them now to play without the last rock?
I don't think so, Vic. I think steals are still pretty tough, and Kathy Cunningham is curling well enough you can't expect to steal end after end. But what they did in the last end is that they got back to putting lots of rocks in play and got a few good key shots and got a couple of misses finally from the Cunningham team. They have been playing so well.
And in fairness to Kathy Cunningham, I mean, she made the move to get her deuce, because if she gets 2 points there, you know, she has complete control of the game.
Whoa, whoa. That's getting shot, Robin.
It's a little too tight. They really don't want those that tight because Kathy's going to be hitting and rolling, and she might be able to get a roll in off those. Just like them a little further out.
You can get the hit. Obviously, the doubles there. You can get the hit, and you can get the roll into the rings, which would change the situation.
Hard! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! 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 You rolled, Peg. Whoa! 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 Good.
Great roll. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that guard was just too tight.
Yeah, Suzanne has to deal with it now.
Normal.
And there's the struggle. Another wonderful performance by the front end, but Rebecca Jean, not like her to see those kind of numbers. And just wonderful for Kathy. She dropped from the 100, but she really didn't have a shot on that last one. It was virtually impossible.
Well, Suzanne Goody had brought her numbers up a little bit from earlier in the game.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Just clean. Roll it in a bit, Rebecca. That's good.
That's good.
Nice shot.
Kathy Kerr.
Whoa. No. Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
Your roll.
Look at this.
Good, 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 good.
Rolls it over. T-line and buried.
Like this?
If I miss the run back.
You can play the run back as well.
Just for line.
Just for line. Got the weight.
Line only. Whoa.
Just for line.
Heat.
Rub.
No
Just
line.
for line.
Whoa, we're back 12.
Fee and McInnes backing right off. And there the struggles of Rebecca Jean McPhee continue.
Okay.
Our coverage of the Nokia Brier begins next Saturday. Our opening draw, Alberta, Randy Furby against Nova Scotia and Mark Dacey.
Even if that stone stops short in the 12-foot, it's a good shot. Can't be deep there.
Yep.
One of the hard things for a skip is to decide what to do when a player is struggling. And with Rebecca Jean, you have to try and balance out the kind of shot to call. Peg here has a chance to draw for 2. If you'd called the run back on Rebecca Jean's, you might have got a roll in, opened up the back one. It's just hard to make those choices.
Okay. Good.
Stops in time to lie 2.
Normal.
The hit or the freeze?
I think the hit.
What?
Yeah, the hit.
Do you like this?
Okay.
You like that?
Okay.
Weights down. Whoa. Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Quick.
Hard.
Hard, guys. Quick.
Hard.
No, you'd be better to roll away from that spot. It really leaves a perfect position for Kathy.
There's a great chance for Peg Goss again just to get on that. And you'll have one covered by a corner guard and one frozen. A little roll to the center would have forced Newfoundland to play the hit.
Yep. Yep. For weight.
Gotta go for line too.
Right out of her hand.
Hurry.
Martin and Kerr pick it up.
Guys. Hurry line.
Hard for line. Hurry line. Hurry for line. Real hard, guys.
It's a scrub all the way. Trying to take it down to the face. Here comes Cunningham.
Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Just over curling. The weight's perfect, but it's really curling.
Yeah, the weight was super. It just curled too much.
Over here. Yep.
Tight.
Let's go.
Chance to get out of this now.
First stone for the PEI skip.
Top
Suzanne
eight.
Goody.
Whoa.
That's all.
Gotta go. Oh, now
Room.
it's good. Whoa.
Yeah.
T. Just for line.
Whoa. Room.
Just for
Lots
line.
of room.
Whoa.
Just here, guys. Just here.
We're past there. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Sit down.
Really didn't move for her.
No, the weight was great. It just didn't curl. You're right.
Just about over 2 feet of movement.
That curls another 2 or 3 inches.
back
It's
line.
perfect.
You have to be careful. Oh no, should be okay. I really don't want to leave it there though. You know, a little flop there would be okay. Okay? Just a little corner in.
Suzanne's rock just did not curl. Kathy throws differently. You can see she's taking just a tiny bit less ice, and she's going to play a tap. So she expects her rock to curl here.
Off it when you go by, okay?
Okay.
The warning to the sweepers, Wyland.
They're trying to get it to curl, Vic, as it goes by the redstone at the top 12. Get as much of the face of this rock as they can.
But now it's all outbrush by Kerr and Martin. All over the guard.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
She just throws it so differently. Hers really curl. Now it's mentally tiring for these skips because they do throw differently and it's hard for them to be reading the ice. Similar thing happened yesterday for both of them.
Gee, that went a lot faster than I thought.
She took inside center line, got it started a little bit, so the path was totally different than Suzanne's.
On the nose, Robin.
Yep.
On the nose, she says.
Normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Anywhere on the outside is okay. Just don't want to come across the face of it.
Nice shot.
Right on the nose. Sit right there to lie. 2.
That's a big end for Suzanne. Remember, she draws in one position to try and cut the end down, hopefully, gets the mistake, and now forces the single. 2 nice shots by the PEI skip.
Just a nose hit, guys. Yep.
Think, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to get the line?
It's a big turnaround in the game.
Yep.
The steal and now the force.
Yep. Yeah. Up control.
Roll up. Quick.
Up control.
Let's get this going too.
Quick. Got a girl.
Good shot.
Good catch.
It's their top four. For the single. Newfoundland and Labrador
Wrong side.
retake the lead, but the hammer goes back to PEI.
Like the corner guard again.
They are the champions of Newfoundland and Labrador. Kathy Cunningham, Peg Goss, Kathy Kerr, and Heather Martin out of the St. John's Curling Club. And they went on a terrific tear after starting 2 and 4. They won 4 of their last 5 to grab the 4th and final playoff spot, then stole the game against Saskatchewan to put themselves into this semifinal against PEI, who happened to lose to the defending champions, Team Canada, Colleen Jones, who are into the final tomorrow and awaiting the winner.
Or else this.
You heard Susan McInnes,
I think.
the lead for PEI, say
Whatever you
mission
like.
accomplished.
I don't
They
mind
held
top 8. Okay, let's
the
go
team
this
from
way.
St. John's
Yeah.
to a single, so PEI
They
has
feel
the
it, then we'll
hammer
throw the
down
guard
by
on it
1
again,
as we
Sue.
play an 8.
Well, Kathy wanted the center line guard, and it just curled off the center line, so it's corner guard for PEI, and they're going to utilize it right here.
Just for line.
Okay, we got lots of line.
Just for
There's a
line.
little bit of a
Lots of
discussion
lines.
about how to get
Top
around it,
eight.
which way to
Line's good.
play
Top
it.
8 only.
Coming the wide
Got
side.
lots of room.
You gotta go.
I guess the other thing you could do, Linda, is
Okay,
throw up
well,
another
leave it
corner
hard
because it's a
there.
free guard
Line,
zone
guys.
stone that can't be removed. But
Okay, it's coming now. Yep. Hard. Go.
Yep. Right back.
They have really had troubles getting rocks buried in this spot.
Hard. It's good.
These player comparisons brought to you by Nokia, the official wireless phone of the Season of Champions.
Well, just unbelievable numbers by Susan McInnes. Has been like that all week, 95%. And Heather Martin at 86. She's been terrific all week, and right now getting out-curled.
And there's just no question that Kathy Cunningham had a game plan coming in here, and it involves offense, and she's just going to stay on it.
Line.
And good on her. You can get burnt, you can get hurt, you can get bit.
Hard. Hurry. Hard, guys. Hard. Right up. Hurry. That a girl.
Very nice.
And you go back to that last end, she got a bit of a break as Peg Goss threw a good stone. It just curled more than they expected.
Like that?
It was perfect weight. Otherwise, she's got one buried and one frozen.
Whatever you like.
I like over here.
They like this. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. She's got a tough shot there to move on to us. So, okay.
Open side, they're talking.
See all of our outside window.
Yeah. She can. She can pick it out pretty easy.
I don't think you can move it though, because otherwise then you're setting her up for a double.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Okay.
I don't know. I like over here.
Yeah. Over there.
I don't want her to hit and roll.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're going to have to bring this one
You
deep.
can go deep, back 8.
A few exchanges, and it's going to move up to the
What do you
T-line
like?
pretty quickly.
If we come around, we're setting up a double.
I wonder if
She can't see any of this yellow one.
What?
You can't see any of this yellow one. You might have a quarter to a half of our red here.
what's biting the 12-foot like here, guys?
The team wanted to go this
What do you
way.
think of right here?
That's not a bad shot.
Back.
You know what you're saying? If we go there, she can get the hit and roll. We can go back 8. She might freeze to us.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though.
Let's play with this corner. Let's use this corner.
Same shot you just threw.
Yeah.
To the 2.
Yeah, right to here is good.
Not there, though. You're
I mean,
setting up
there's
a double
all right.
for her.
What? Not setting up a double for her. Yeah, let's use it. I mean, you got the 4-foot open. That's tiny.
Let's go then.
Yep.
In turn freeze. They're going to try and freeze to the face of the yellow stone. Right there.
Just corner for the set.
Taking a lot of time in these last few ends to talk about things, understandably so. It's an important part of the game, but you hate to get to the near the end of the game and have very little time left.
Short.
Tighter.
Just for
Yep.
line.
Yes.
Halfway.
Yep. Hard.
Susan
Whoa,
McInnes.
just for weight.
Yeah.
Whoa. Needs it. Top 12.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, just. That's good.
Shot stone is now Newfoundland Labrador.
Didn't want to move it.
12, I think she
12.
Just
You want it, Kat?
Great
Right
numbers for
here.
both seconds. Robin McPhee has just shown us tremendous composure for a person as young as she is. And Kathy Kerr staying right with her.
Yep. Root. Clean. Whoa, line. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, where is it?
12. 8.
Bumping?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hurry. Whoa, 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 whoa. Great shot, Kath.
Okay. How much of this? 3/4. Just do this with.
Sit right on top of it. Hit it and sit right on top of it.
Let's go.
Hit it. Just sit right there. Get rid of the back yellow one. I want to try and get across the face of this if you can.
Whoa.
Robin McPhee.
You have to deal with it. You can't leave them sitting there, but you could set up a better angle for Newfoundland if you don't get a bit of a curl on this rock to the face.
Well, you can roll it, Susan. Yep. Roll it. Hard.
Now the house is split. PEI is line 2.
Just one, I think, Victor.
Yellowstone just in behind the red as second shot.
Okay.
You're right.
Just a touch. Yep. Gotta go. Gotta go, Kat. A little less.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hurry. Real hard. Real hard, guys. Real hard. Real hard. Okay, that's fine, Kath.
This is the time of the game where the ice starts to flatten out a little bit.
Like to there.
Like
The
that
other
or
thing
the
we
wing?
can do is guard it.
Or you can throw to the wing.
I wouldn't be guarding it.
It's a little bit of a guess. You can see the stopwatch is still out for these intervals, but they're still guessing a little bit as to how quickly it will slow down. I was saying we may be at the 13.5 second mark and maybe even a little slower than that.
Yep.
It's going to flatten out. It's going to dig right in here. You can take this all the way.
Yep. Just here. Yep.
And see how fast they're starting to die.
The difficulty is, as Kathy Cunningham continues to put some Yellowstones in the top of the house, they're all very usable and can be moved up. And Suzanne will not like it if this one hits and stays right there.
Peg goss.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard. Hard.
Well, the angle would have gotten rid of that red
Just
stone.
about.
But you know, but I think that would have been a bad thing. I think it would, if they touched that top yellow, I was thinking back a little bit that if you could touch that back yellow and kind of rearrange those stones a little bit, it's to PEI's benefit. I think they're lucky that they didn't just touch that yellow one. It would have moved the red one back. Now the raise on your own is a factor.
You saw from the numbers, Rebecca Jean is the one player really struggling in this game. They've had trouble both with line and weight on their shots. Trying to come around everything.
There's room still.
Still in the mid-60s. But can make everyone forget it if she buries it here. And she'll get it to the top of the button.
I really think they have to sweep hers a little extra because they seem to be finishing harder than all the other players.
Kathy could freeze down on the face of this. She's chosen to play the hit and roll. It's kind of a little bit of a change midstream. I sit on right on the face of that.
Does the ice dictate this shot, though, maybe a little bit because of the softening, because of the what's needed?
You still can get the draws there, Vic. You just have to add a tiny bit of weight.
Martin and Kerr. Boy, it's diving. They'll get by that top one. Will they get by this one?
That's what I was talking about, Vic, when the last time. That's exactly what I was saying. If you touch that yellow one, you rearrange the situation, and it's to the benefit of the PEI.
Desperately trying to get it by and catch shot rock. And of course, it hit very thinly, so the one yellow bounces out. Just leaving the other at the top of the 12-foot.
Corner freeze the yellow.
I think you could hit the red one
Like
right on the
there on the yellow.
right on the nose, and move both those yellows one side way. It may jam on the other side. You could hit that red rock right on the nose, and you'd really put yourself in good shape. You'd move both those yellow out of there. One may jam on the other side, but I don't think that would be a factor. I would have thrown a normal weight hit at that, a good weight hit.
It's good.
Clean it on its own.
Whoa, it's got to come over.
On its own.
It's got a curl. It's
Top
coming.
12.
It's coming in.
Make sure it's freezing.
Just tight. Yep.
Hard.
Hard. Hard, hard, hard. That's good. Shot.
PEI. Line 2.
This battle at skip is a good one. Kathy Cunningham, remember, started out first 5 ends was in the 100% area. Amazing numbers. It's only dropped down a little bit, and Suzanne Goody started slowly and has brought them right up.
Yeah, she was down 60%.
She was.
Range, was she not?
This is where Kathy needs to make a save. She needs to get a good rock in there into a position in front of the shot stone.
First stone for the skip
line.
from
What you
Newfoundland, Labrador in 8.
Yep. Whoa, line only. Whoa, clean.
Stay close.
Yes!
They lose this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That little rub straightened it out.
You know, that's also the pebble. The amount of curl she gets late is the pebble breaking down, the speed coming off the stone. They have to just realize it's going to happen and take a little risk.
Yeah.
That was a perfectly thrown stone.
Yeah, it caught the flat part of the ice, the fudge part of the ice we talked about. It just came right across sideways. She just rubs it. Otherwise, she's around and she's glued. The nose hit here really makes it tough on Kathy now. If you hit this right in the nose and just stay there.
Not even look for a flip.
The flip would be a little bit of a 2-inch roll would be nice, but it's not even necessary. We take away the hit for Kathy, but little flip, just a corner behind the top red one would be absolutely perfect. But
Yep.
Goody in her first.
Hard.
Yep.
Hurry hard. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's right there. Fly 3.
Kathy will try for the double.
I thought it was coming. I thought it was going to break hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to take a chance on that.
3/4, Peg. 3/4.
3/4.
You can definitely make the double on this here, and get rid of those two. We'll buy this one here, but you have to lose your shooter, and then this shot here that I talked about earlier may be a factor.
And 3/4 the amount of stones she has to hit.
It is.
She has to lose the shooter to make the double.
Suzanne's rock went pretty straight, so Kathy might get a little more curl on her shot.
Looking at 3 with her last one.
No. Close.
Kathy
close.
Cunningham.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Martin and Kerr back right off now, looking for the angle double.
Yeah.
That'll do.
I don't know if it's draw for 2 or 3.
Right now, I think it's just a draw for 2.
Nice shot by Kathy. As I said, she gets a little finish on her rocks. Perfect contact.
I think it's yellow, but
Really just had to get out of this end as best she could.
Well, that's a great shot, but that's all she really had.
It might be us.
Now this is a big extra point.
Well, this would be maybe a little more dangerous now, because if you hit this one here on the nose, this is definitely going to go, and but it's going to come off of this one and push this one this way.
I'd be careful
but
with that.
Now with this rock here, it's tough, so it's a draw for 2. But before it was definitely there.
But this is the big extra point. This is the first time they've had a good chance for a deuce.
Wait's good.
You have to watch. It's going to dig in. It's going.
Line only.
Haven't been able to convert with the hammer yet in this game. Here they go. M&M's trying to drag it for a second point. Find the hole. They do. And there's 2.
Very nice draw. This young lady's just coming on so strongly in this game. It's a sure 2, and they're measuring for the 3rd.
First glance, it appeared the 3rd shot was the yellow at the top.
Good last shot, Kat.
Boy, what a turnaround, though. You can just feel the flow of this game going over to the PEI team, even with the nice shots by Kathy Cunningham.
They didn't get a good look at them, so I'm not
Get
sure.
out of the way, right?
find that's the hardest spot in the ring to tell.
Arlene Day is the umpire. Arlene, out of Saskatchewan, former participant. Back in 1982, when there were a couple of semifinals that year, she lost to Colleen Jones. Sorry, Arlene. 11-4 was the score. That year.
It's
so
2.
it's 2.
Nope, sorry, Arlene.
Yep.
Newfoundland, Labrador will have the hammer.
This is where we want it, right?
We don't have
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Well, for the first time with the hammer, PEI is able to convert and get their 2. They lead at 5-4 as we go to the 9th, and the team from the St. John's Curling Club, Kathy Cunningham, has the hammer.
Whoops.
Well, they threw the first rock in the rings. Suzanne Goody did, and Kathy hit it. So without, that tells us immediately that she's going to try and play this end wide open and clean. Try to get a blank and come home one down. She could have thrown obviously up the corner guard and gone after a deuce, but
looking at the clocks too, Linda, I mean, they're both in the 12 and a half, 13-minute range. Is that part of it, banking a little time, do you think?
Well, it's clear that Kathy Cunningham wants to blank, but it could be for the PEI team, Vic, but they didn't want to fool around for that reason.
Hey, girl.
I talked about PEI converting well with the hammer, getting deuces, getting 3-enders when they had the hammer, but it's gone 20 ends before they could finally get another deuce, and that's since the last game in round-robin play, through the playoff game yesterday until just now.
Just clean.
But what a big turnaround in this game to get it at that moment.
Whoa. It's good.
Well, your earlier numbers showed how offensive they were. They had 27 deuces actually through a round robin, none yesterday, and that was their first in this game.
Yeah. Hurry. Whoa. Yep. Good catch. Good girl.
I just want to talk about this little lady and how she's turned this game around. Remember at the beginning, Rebecca Jean was struggling a little bit. Well, they're down after the 5th end break. This hasn't happened to them very much, but really nice shots by Suzanne. Here you go in 6, and it's a steal to try and get back in this game to tie it. Then in 7, a struggle again by Rebecca Jean, but Suzanne, a nice draw and a nice hit. And she really makes it tough for Kathy Cunningham, forces a single, and then the next end, this last one gets the deuce. So it was steal, force, deuce. A wonderful sequence by Suzanne Goody to turn this game around. And Ray, it is a team game, and the rest of the team's playing well. But when one player struggles a little bit, somebody else has to step up, and I really think Suzanne's done that.
Step up to the plate for sure. Just remember, she tried to raise against 3 and just gave up 2. She had to hit the stick against 2.
Okay.
Since the second end, she's made a great sequence of shots.
She's good. Atta girl. Atta girl.
But she never took her out of the mix. Sometimes we've talked about skips who will make it a little easier for their player if they know it's struggling. She really didn't take Rebecca Jean out of the mix, still asked her to make some shots.
Well, you can't take her out of it.
And you know what, it's funny, I really think that some of Rebecca Jean's rocks are curling differently than others, and I don't know if it's just a little bit of nerves, and that means you put the handle on differently, and we're getting a different amount of curl from her. But some of them, they've even been caught on brushing on a couple of hers where they didn't brush it properly. That was a nice one right there.
But you go to that 8th end, it was her come around that set that end up.
Yep, it was.
And she was at 64% at that point.
Hard, guys. Whoa. Whoa, up. Off, okay. Whoa.
Both teams have played very, very well.
No. Good.
The hits to the wings like that will not curl. You know, we talked a little bit at the beginning of the show about a little bit of frost creeping in. So when you get out there, the stone will not curl. You have to be careful about how much ice you take on those kind of shots.
Top 4. Whoa, watch it. There in its own. Top 4.
Keep it clean,
back
guys.
4.
Clean it, guys.
Back 8. Back 8. Back 12. No, back 4. That's good, Rebecca.
A reminder, coming up Sunday evening at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, you can relive the gold medal men's hockey win of a year ago in Salt Lake when Wayne Gretzky sits down for a chat with Dave Hodge. And then that's just before Nashville and Toronto, the NHL on TSN.
Oh, yep, no. Yep. Yep.
Good. Just clean.
Peg may have struggled getting her rocks in the right
Good
places in the first half of the game against Saskatchewan, but boy, since that 5th end on, she has really played well. She's played tremendous in this game. She got a bit of a bad break on an out-turn draw she was playing that just curled too much on her, which let PEI get off the hook a bit. Otherwise, Newfoundland had a good chance for a deuce.
PEI hoping to hit and stay in the center of the rings and making it more difficult for Kathy Cunningham to get the roll to the outside and eventual blank.
Whoa. Hey, Suzanne.
Edge of 8, Peg.
Setting up to be a very interesting 10th end if things continue the way they appear they might.
Center line.
As we saw yesterday,
Center line.
anything can happen when you get
Center.
to 10.
The winner to move on to Sunday's final against the defending champions, Colleen Jones and her team from the Mayflower Club in Halifax.
Surprise, surprise, Colleen's in the final.
She has played so well this week.
Boy, also.
Highest ever draw percentage during this event.
Should be locked.
17 appearances, that's a lot of numbers to look at, but she has been superb
Need
in
help?
both the draw game and the hits.
Nope. Come out, Peg.
Okay, whoa. Atta girl.
Roll it in a bit. Yeah.
Changed it to the wing so I have a better chance to.
Susan McGinnis is a true lead. She's always so busy. She's always working on the ice, cleaning things up, getting the rocks in places. And she's played tremendous. The both front ends have played really well.
And Susan, a former skip in her own right. She represented the province at a Scott as a skip.
Normal. Yep. Just in between. Yep. In between. Hard. Quick. Go hard. Go quick. Never leave it. No roll. Yep. Roll it. Yep.
Very nice. The best you could do, put it in the very middle of the circles.
Yeah, that's the best spot for sure. She has to roll 6 feet to get it out.
Perfect.
Either side. The fans here tonight have been treated to a terrific curling game.
Yep.
Lots of entertainment here. And it's going to be a pretty exciting 10th end.
Played the whole end to blank and hold on to the hammer, down by 1.
Yeah.
Final stone.
Yeah.
Kathy Cunningham.
Whoa! Yes!
Whoa!
Yes!
Nice throw.
Uh-oh.
It was far enough out.
Thankfully for Newfoundland Labrador.
Is it out?
Yes, it is. Yes. She'll have the hammer.
I wasn't.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada, by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions, by Karcher, you'll look for things to clean, and by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Sports Center is coming right up. Lots of hockey. The Canadians and Maple Leafs. Oh yeah, the Heart season about to begin in St. Petersburg, and the rookie Sebastien Bourdais is on the pole. First rookie to have the pole position in a kart race since Nigel Mansell, 1993.
You're
Paul
kidding.
Tracy 2, Patrick Carpentier 4, Alex Tagliani 13th. Sports Center is coming right up.
The first rookie.
Yeah.
So here we go. Kathy Cunningham looking for a deuce, trying to win this game right now. And Suzanne Goody put the first stone in the button area, and they'll come back to protect.
Halfway, and they're guarding. Halfway is what they're asking for.
Yep, halfway.
Just over.
Yeah, it was a great first shot by Susan to get it right on the button.
Just over on its own.
On its own.
On its own.
Little at the end. Yep.
No, 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 no. Whoa. It's good.
Obvious advantage team with the hammer, but considering the way they're playing, PEI even without, and they did steal one earlier. Playing well enough here, do you think?
Oh, for sure, but one little mistake when you don't have the hammer, and Newfoundland can set up their deuce.
Yeah. Hard.
10th ends are always so interesting, especially in the pressure of a playoff game.
Right over.
Guard was too good, Kathy said. You're absolutely right where the stone is. It's right in front of the pin and the button.
Here.
Hard to generate 2 points in there. You're going to make these guards, however. You leave that back stone exposed, and you bet Kathy's coming around.
Tight.
Well, they're definitely going all out for the steal. No other plan is being discussed. No look at what to do with guards. Just put one back
Gotta
up.
go a little.
Halfway.
Yep. 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 That's good. Shot.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Linda, because they could have played the peel on the yellow stone, but they're playing the whole end to steal it. They had the opportunity there when the other yellow stone rolled to the boards to go up and peel off that yellow stone, but their game plan is to try and steal this end.
I really thought they might.
Yeah, me too.
Amazing numbers by these front end players.
Whoa. 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 Come back, baby. Come on, look. Come back. It's good, Kath. Good girl.
You can still have the chance to do it, but that's not the plan. And
Same thing.
yeah, absolutely. Lots of teams will play this way. They'll play this end closed and in the steal mode.
Robin McPhee. Newfoundland Labrador need
Halfway to
one to
tight.
tie.
Got a little less.
Halfway.
You're gonna have to go for line.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Need it to curl over.
Hard, 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 hard. Hard. As far as it'll go. Hard, hard, hard. Quick, quick, quick. Hard. That's good.
Well, you can get to the back one now, though.
Kathy, I kicked that.
Try to take it now. Want to play this one? Yeah.
It's definitely there now.
Yeah. Yep.
Guard had to curl about another foot.
Kathy Kerr will try and come through the hole.
Control. Yeah. Yes! Hurry! Quick!
Found it. She did. Got it. She does.
Yeah.
Very nice. Caught the brushing in time to get it by. Didn't get any roll, so the same shots available.
Stop.
Now
In
it's up to
between.
Rebecca Jean McPhee.
Normal. Close. Normal. Close. Yeah. Normal. Whoa. Yeah. Hard. Hard.
She got it too.
Whoa.
You bet. Oh, it sat right there, so it's still there.
They're making that port look like it's pretty big, and it's not.
Well, if Kathy can work this rock up one more rock, then she can ignore it, even if the hole is there, and go around the center. So Peg can just even exchange here, and it'd be great if she got the roll.
Hurry! Hard! Hurry!
Did it once, did it twice. Can we do it 3 times? Sure we can. And the roll 2.
Great roll.
Nice brushing. Lovely throw.
Shot, Peg.
Sweep.
Shot, girl.
I said they needed a good performance by Peg today, and she is giving it to them.
Has she ever?
Oh. No.
You like around it?
Just a little excited.
I don't know if I like that quite yet. Not sure. Oh, it's top 8, so big time.
Earlier in the end, you could have peeled the guard, but you made the decision to steal, so you're going to have to go.
You can take a time.
Either around or straight back.
Whatever you like yourself. Round's not bad. Let's go around.
Well,
PEI down to around 4:30 on their clock.
Deuce, right?
Okay.
We're up 1.
Would you like to run it?
Straight back. Okay. The thing is, though, if you don't make the straight back, you're giving her a deuce. If you make the draw, she's going to have to follow you down.
Well, either
Follow
that or
you
she's
down.
sitting and flipping over.
Yeah, we should call time in. Only got 4 minutes left.
Do you want a time?
You want time? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Time out.
Well, if you're going to try and steal it, you can go around it. She decided not to peel the corner guard, so.
I say we can either come in around and try and get the back of the 4 foot,
we know that.
or I don't even mind the heavy draw on the front red, bounce it into the back in the 8 foot here. We could even get shot rock off it, right, and expose this one at the same time.
Yeah, that's not
Right in up behind the corner here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? With just like a heavy draw, then you're flopping it off that, and it's not going to be too far off because we'll still be able to use it. Either that, or you can try and hook one in here at the 4 foot again.
Too early, though?
Well,
That's my last one.
it's your last rock. It's your last rock. What do you think?
I don't know.
Like, I don't mind that heavy draw.
Okay, let's try it.
Because, well, do you like that? The other thing is, too, is if we throw the heavy draw back here into the back of the 4 foot, she's got nothing to do but to really come down on top of us, and then we can hook one on top of her. Anyways, I'm out of here, but those are the 2 shots that I like.
Okay.
Okay?
And like either of those shots is coming back for the draw or raising the red in to try and get shot. What do you like?
Well, I think if you're trying to steal, maybe the center guard is a good spot to have the stone. You've made your decision. They said that Paul talked about, playing this one back, but I think that what they're going to try and do, they've set the end up to try and steal, so they're going to try and get it down into here.
We said one little opening and you give the chance for a deuce for your opponent, and that was the guard not curling enough. And the other problem with the guard for PEI is it's quite long, and so any of the raises or run backs are made more difficult by that distance.
Back 8 here.
Line's closed.
Yeah, yes! Hard! Hard!
McInnes and McPhee. Get it by this one, too. Oh, my goodness, back 4.
That's a lovely shot. Did you think it rubbed it a wee bit? Or no? Did it get right by?
You know me, I think they all rubbed it. I think that just papered that.
Yeah, it was so close. We'll take another look at it.
Her rocks have all been finishing harder than anybody.
Oh.
What a wonderful shot.
Great brushing to get it by.
No, it was, you just got by it.
Peg Goss.
Yep.
They're playing to move that shot, Stone.
Close. Yep. Hurry!
Need it big time, big drop. Martin Kerr, has she got it? They do!
That is a great shot, boy. I'm telling you, she has had quite a day. Absolutely the perfect weight. She gets the late movement, catches half it, rolls it out of there, which is even better. Linda gets it away from there.
Go that way.
And nothing to freeze to now with Peg's rock rolling away. Just a cold draw to the back of the 4-foot again.
Skip stones.
You got the full 8-foot too, so you can go just through the 4-foot.
Line's good.
Saw the wonderful numbers and the way those numbers for Suzanne have come up.
For line. Just for line.
A couple of more big shots needed right here if they want to try and win this game.
Whoa.
Lots of room. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, they brushed it. They brushed it. And it'll go too far. They had room by the guards. Is that part of that gamble you take now with the ice fudging up? You need to brush it, and that's the result?
Yeah, it was just a little bit heavy, and they thought it might break. You're right, Vic.
I think we're taking time.
What's she gonna do? She probably will try and come around this one. If I come here, right? If I come here, then she's coming here. But it should be open, because that hole's big enough, right?
Sports Center coming right up. As soon as we're done here in Kitchener.
Leave it out there. She can just come right in
Get
here.
right in here, right?
Right?
I think we got
it
it here.
Right here.
You know, obviously you don't want to be deep.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
What?
You don't want to be deep.
Yeah.
You're
just
short
here,
and deep,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just here.
Yeah.
I gotta leave her. Whoa!
This is the shot. About an inch, Kathy, movement.
Well, you know, I don't know. It's not. I kicked it.
It was about an inch.
I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter now. We have to come here. Yeah, right here.
Well, it could matter. Those two rocks were pretty even. Kathy touched the yellow one back.
Kathy Cunningham touched that yellow stone. She moved it back, and we think it's about where it is.
Okay.
Okay? That's okay with you?
Yep.
Okay.
We got.
Where?
Tight. Tight.
Tight's okay. Clean it. Just tight. 12 foot.
12.
Yep.
Last word from Coach Jean Blackie was not to be deep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Sit. Yeah.
Not to be deep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And they'll go top
Okay.
4.
And now you could freeze on the face of that and make it very tough to get to.
That's fine. It's half buried. Yeah.
You could just freeze on the face of it and make her draw to the 4-foot.
Like the corner freeze?
You're one up.
She likes to.
Just a minute and a half left. They're going to have to make a decision pretty quickly.
Can't. You just gotta sit on top of it.
I don't know if you can get shot this way. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if we get shot.
Corner again.
Right there.
Right in there. Right on the face of it.
So now for the adjustment of weight, Kathy's rock comes to the top 4-foot top button area, so they might have got a time on it. But Suzanne's last draw was heavy. She has to make the adjustment for the speed, and then it's up to the brushers to take it.
50 seconds remaining on the PEI
Line's
clock.
good.
Final
Weight's good.
stone.
Just to it.
Just for
Looking
line.
to corner.
Just to
We're
it.
tapping it.
Possibly force Newfoundland Labrador to take one
go
here.
around it. I think we can. Yep. Hey!
Definitely stronger, stronger than they thought.
Whoa.
Has to sit fast for her. Has to sit. And it'll go too far. Newfoundland and Labrador will move on to the final against Team Canada and Colleen Jones.
She thought it might be a spot that would slow down. She thought she'd taken a little bit of weight off a very tough draw.
Yeah, they're outside the fudging area too. They're outside the 4-foot, and it just slides out there. We saw that happen yesterday as well. And now they decided they were actually freezing to the face of it, and they decided to go around, but it just never slowed up at all. It slid all the way.
Suzanne Goody and the team from Charlottetown will bow out, while Newfoundland and Labrador will move on to Sunday's final from the St. John's Curling Club.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Scott Paper Limited, supporting women's curling across Canada.
So for the 4th time in Newfoundland Labrador history, a team will go to the final. They've never won. Kathy Cunningham will play Team Canada, the defending champions, Colleen Jones, in Sunday's final. We'll be at the Nokia Brier starting next Saturday, March 1st. Alberta against Nova Scotia will be our opener. Our thanks to all the teams this week. The best of luck to both Newfoundland Labrador and to Team Canada. And our thanks to everyone here in Kitchener-Waterloo. Stay with us, SportsCenter's coming up. Thanks for joining us, the Scott Tournament of Hearts on Canada's sports leader, TSN.